I don't understand how hard it is to say violent criminals shouldn't be pardoned for trying to have an insurrection and stop the peaceful transfer of power.
Okay, are you going to talk about the Biden family that got pardoned? No?
I haven't.
Oh, okay. What about the rapers and killers and murderers that Joe Biden pardoned? There are tons of them.
I won't cede an inch of the moral high ground on that issue, specifically law enforcement, to anybody who represents the Democratic Party in general. Because this is a party, I mean, especially here where we are in New York. You could have saw all summer New York City police officers getting assaulted and beaten. You have Rikers Island where correction officers get stabbed, slashed, beaten every day. And the Democratic Party here in this state and nationwide doesn't say boo.
And all of y'all's obsession with January 6th is absurd. Everybody outside of here is sick and tired of it.
What's going on, guys? We got to talk about CNN's Abby Phillip getting absolutely ravaged. Okay, she gets cooked into oblivion with extra seasoning because she is obsessing about January 6th. These people have not shut up at all ever since the J6 pardons. Now, I know it's been less than a week since Trump was inaugurated, but there's been so many things that's happened, but the news has been flooded mainly with being obsessed in a fake outrage, because you know it's fraudulent, over January 6th pardons. No Joe Biden pardons, which also happened less than a week ago. No outrage about the sky-high prices in the economy that is still floundering, which is going to take some time to fix. Okay, no accolades for good things that Trump is doing, like, for example, securing the border. As a matter of fact, they're criticizing that. Instead, no, they want to just go off and keep bringing up the January 6th political prisoners over and over and over again, and Abby Phillip gets absolutely destroyed. But before that, I want to go ahead and show you what Marjorie Taylor Greene had to say about it, because she went off on this woke reporter.
Is this all you really talking about is the J6ers that have been pardoned?
Yeah.
Okay, are you going to talk about the Biden family that got pardoned? No?
I haven't.
Oh, okay. What about the rapers and killers and murderers that Joe Biden pardoned? There are tons of them. Is that a focus at all?
Well, I'm asking about J6.
I know that's what you're asking. I know that's what you're asking about, and I'm not doing this. This insane place up here and all of y'all's obsession with January 6th is absurd. Everybody outside of here is sick and fucking tired of it. I'm serious. And so Joe Biden pardons all these murderers and rapists and disgusting people, and then everybody up here has got their panties in a wad because J6ers got pardoned. Like people that walk through open doors. A lot of them walk through open doors. That's it. But everybody here is like, oh, J6. Seriously.
But you've been so outspoken on this issue. I mean,
yes, I have. And they're pardoned. And thank God, I hope they go live their lives and can reassemble something back together, because they have suffered enough. Go do a story on all the Antifa BLM people that never served time. Over 95% of them, seriously. Think about that. And go do a story on these cities that BLM burned to the ground and they never built back. They raised all that money on ActBlue and they never built those communities back.
You don't think it's a fair question to ask you because you've been so outspoken.
It is nauseating. I've seen all the Democrat-run networks ad nauseum about January 6th, and they just can't get over themselves, but they don't give a shit about real Americans.
The speaker just created a select committee to investigate January 6th, so it's not like Republicans aren't talking about this.
No, but it was your question. Are you gonna have J6ers come in? Are you gonna give them tours? Like, I'm so sick of you people and all this crap. I really am.
The reason why I asked that is because other people have said that, and so I assumed you would be one of the people that would also be having tours. Just because I know you're close to some of the people.
Because you're assuming. You know, the problem is you people never gave me a fair shot to begin with, and all these assumptions and all these headlines and all these lies. So you came in asking me, why don't you do a story on what people care about? People care about the border, the economy, energy. They're sick and tired of the foreign wars. They're tired of the hypocrisy up here, and they hate the media right now. They do, I'm serious. You guys have created a situation where you're not trusted and people are sick of y'all. And it's sad. I'm serious, it's sad. Well, so no, I'm not answering this question because I'm not going down this stupid thing of Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I'm 100% in agreement with Marjorie Taylor Greene. The one exception is the fact that I'm enjoying the meltdown. So yeah, am I tired of them pearl clutching about this. Absolutely. However, I'm enjoying the fact that it's making them miserable. Okay, they're ignoring all of these different instances of Joe Biden doing all of these crazy pardons for all of these people, including rapists and murderers, or commuting their sentences, whatever you want to call it. Either way, he is interfering with the justice, with the judicial system, and commuting sentences, which Trump, for example, also only commuted the sentences for some of the people if they had particularly egregious things going on, which the fake news loves to ignore. But without further ado, I want to go ahead and get into Abby Phillip getting cooked, as she always does.
John Miller, the reality is that many of these people are violent, and many of these people are bad people. Stuart Rhodes, for example, who was on Capitol Hill, was convicted not necessarily of being on the front lines there, but organizing the whole thing, organizing essentially a militia to go to the Capitol. So what does that mean?
Isn't a militia normally armed? Last I recall, nobody was even armed, certainly not anyone who actually entered the Capitol building. Let's keep going.
Now, I want to play one of these, the ex-Proud Boy, Enrique Tarrio, what he said after he was released.
I'm happy that the president's focusing not on retribution and focusing on success, but I will tell you that I'm not going to play by those rules. The people who did this, they need to feel the heat.
Boom.
There's that. I've also
I agree.
seen...
Remember, Enrico Tarrio was a convicted felon before he went to trial in this case.
And I've also seen literally some of these defendants on social media posting the pictures of their jail guards and asking their followers to go after those individuals' names, photos, people who were doing their jobs presumptively. Not saying I know exactly what went on, but in most cases, people who, when they come out of prison, there's some kind of period of time where they're under supervision. Now their slates are wiped clean, and some of these people might actually be dangerous.
Couldn't you have said that about the people who were literal criminals who came through the border, some of whom killed people? I don't understand how do you not have any accountability for people crossing over the border and killing and raping people, including little girls, but then for this sort of stuff, for way less people? Like Joe Biden let in millions of people. Trump pardoned 1,500 people, roughly. The numbers are not even close. And none of these people have done any type of rape or murder at all. All they did, some of them, out of that 1,500, probably roughly 100 of them, got into it with police officers who attacked the people first. I don't understand how the parallels can't be made here.
Abby, there's no secret. I was actually on the campaign for a long time. And Donald J. Trump, our president, made it very clear that if he was to be elected, that he would pardon the J6ers. Now, I come from I'm from a lieutenant governor's. I was just like Jeff. And the way I look at it, me personally, is that we worked in state capitals, and state capitals are protected. And for the life of me, I have no idea why the U.S. Capitol wasn't protected that day. We knew
Good question.
There was going to be a rally.
Well, I know why it wasn't protected. It's because Nancy Pelosi didn't want to protect it. It's because the D.C. mayor didn't want to protect it. It's all in writing, which they tried to destroy the evidence, but you couldn't destroy all of it, and they're busted. They're caught. As a matter of fact, it's literally on video with Nancy Pelosi admitting it.
We have responsibility, Terry. We did not have any accountability for what was going on there, and we should have. This is ridiculous. You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing when they've already breached the inaugural stuff that should we call the Capitol Police? I mean the National Guard? Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with?
They thought that they had sufficient resources.
That is not a question of how they had. They don't know. They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepare for more.
Let's keep going.
People knew, the police departments knew. Why wasn't there enough? I was just in Washington these last couple of days, Abby. There's gates 10 feet high. Nobody could get close to. Why wasn't it at that time?
Okay, but what about the pardons?
I mean, look. He told America, elect me, I'm going to pardon J6ers. His message was the economy and inflation.
But this is so stupid. I love the fact that this guy is calling out the fact that Donald Trump said probably in every single rally that he went to is that he was going to pardon the J6ers. I don't recall him ever trying to hide or obfuscate that. But now the fact that he did it, now there's all this fake pearl clutching and outrage. It is so laughable. You really can't do anything except for laugh in these people's face in case the message wasn't loud enough. Ha, ha.
He always talked here and there about J6 as well, Abby.
So you're fine with the pardons of these violent
You know, I wish it would have done.
So everybody's a violent criminal all of a sudden. That's literal defamation of some of these people. Some of these people weren't violent at all.
Done a little bit different, maybe, go on a case-by-case basis. That didn't happen.
He said, it's so
get it
interesting
done.
to me. I don't understand how hard it is to say violent criminals shouldn't be pardoned for trying to have an insurrection and stop the peaceful transfer of power.
About to get cooked.
Can you say that? I'm
just
out of curiosity.
Look, I'm okay that these people, especially those that assaulted cops, actually faced some consequence. But I won't cede an inch of the moral high ground on that issue, specifically law enforcement, to anybody who represents the Democratic Party in general. Because this is a party, I mean, especially here where we are in New York. You could saw all summer New York City police officers getting assaulted and beaten. You have Rikers Island where correction officers get stabbed, slashed, beaten every day. And the Democratic Party here in this state and nationwide doesn't say boo. We have a Soros prosecutor who won't prosecute these people. These January 6 guys that assaulted cops, they were in jail for 2 years, 3 years. That's fine with me. If you do the same thing here to a cop in this city, you're lucky you get 3 hours in the slammer.
California is the same way.
California is the exact same way. So this is, January 6th was not a great day for America. But to your point, it was litigated. Trump ran for office from day one saying he was going to do this. The American public had their chance to weigh in. He got elected, and he did it, and now we're going to have to move forward.
The 2 in 10 Americans support the pardons. That's not a lot of Americans.
Well, there's no doubt, Abby.
We need to vote.
2 in 10, according to who was polls, the polls that you guys said that Kamala Harris was going to win the election, those polls. Let's keep going.
The apples, and I get the whole pardon. I get the whole pardon business. The Clinton administration, the Obama administration pardoned FALN bombers who were behind a reign of terror that left people dead in cities like New York and Chicago. And we've seen that with Leonard Peltier, you could argue.
Apples to apples, Joe Biden killed a cop killer.
But pardoning a mass amount of people and just saying, I'm giving you a pass without considering the individual circumstances of those cases, as suggested, is a bit of a shock to the system.
I guess my question is...
And by the way, just to be clear, Joe Biden did not pardon Peltier. He commuted a sentence.
He commuted the sentence of 37 people on death row who committed some of the most heinous crimes.
Just for clarity, but go ahead.
If it's so bad, then why do you want to be like it? Like, you keep wanting comparing yourselves to Democrats, then don't do what...
Nobody wants to... It's not about wanting to be like it. It's about hypocrisy. You guys are the ones who keep talking about it. If Joe Biden and Obama and Clinton can pardon whoever the hell they want, and Democrats just overlook it. Oh, well, we trust Obama. We trust Joe Biden. We trust Bill Clinton. Who the hell cares? I mean, rape, murder, convicting innocent children to prison with sending them to adult jails. Who cares? And pardoning the judges who do that, who cares? Oh, but the J6s were a line that's too far that we shouldn't have crossed. These people make me sick.
I think the punishment should fit the crime. If you were in jail for the past 3 years before you assaulted a cop, no complaints here. No, in New York, you wouldn't get 3 hours.
As a
lifelong Republican. As a lifelong Republican.
They feel like you should just be in jail forever. For good. How dare you assault a police officer? Your punishment shall be death.
Certainly.
Because the voters voted for Donald J.
They
Trump.
did.
In all 7
They
states,
did.
swing states.
They did. And you know what he has
Does that mean
done?
he
And
can?
you
Does
know
that
what?
mean he
And
can?
everybody says
Does that mean he
that
can
it's
walk
the
down Fifth
economy.
Avenue and shoot somebody?
Even you said, and then everyone's said January 6th. Well, let me explain something to the voters. He has done nothing for you to lower your cost of living. He has done nothing for you. You know what? He wants to invite people who were insurrectionists into the White House. Has he invited anyone who's struggling from a California fire or who has suffered from hurricane?
Ashley.
Joe Biden, but I get it. Joe Biden isn't the president anymore.
So it's basically she's got two standards. Joe Biden doesn't have to do it, but Donald Trump needs to.
More.
But
This is hold the guy that has the heat. But that's what I'm saying. All you can do is you can't be better. You just want to compare.
I agree with you, Ashley. Here's the difference. The difference is that Joe Biden came out and said, I am not going to pardon Hunter Biden. He said, I'm not going to do it. Donald J. Trump was on the campaign trail saying, I'm going to pardon J6.
And I guess what I'm saying to you is when Joe Biden said, I'm not going to pardon, and then he did, I said that wasn't okay. And what I'm saying to you is when Donald Trump on the campaign and yesterday or whatever day he did it, pardon it, I would expect as an American who supports law enforcement to be able to say it's not okay.
But who did the FBI's Agent Association come out today to bash? They didn't come out today to bash Donald J. Trump. They came out to bash Joseph Robinette Biden for commuting the sentence.
Well, the Fraternal Order of Police bashed these pardons.
They bashed both of them. They bashed both of them.
Yeah, I get it, but I'm saying don't act as if law enforcement didn't bash the January 6th pardons. They absolutely did.
But I will say this. Trump, from the beginning, said this is an action he was going to take. And we had 4 years of January 6th being the sort of flag that the Democratic Party waved. And at the end of those 4 years, as we approached the campaign, every police union in the country had the opportunity to make an endorsement. And every single one of them chose Donald Trump over Joe Biden. Every single one of them.
In the campaign, J.D. Vance said that Trump would not pardon violent criminals. Last week, J.D. Vance said Trump would not pardon.
Look, here goes another pivot. It don't matter what J.D. Vance says. J.D. Vance ain't the president. Donald Trump is the president, and Donald Trump said he was going to pardon the J6ers, and he didn't say that he wasn't going to pardon nobody else if they happened to be violent that day. He did not say that. J.D. Vance said it. Donald Trump's the president. What Donald Trump says goes. These propagandists are just unbelievable. What happened? I felt like with Abby, there was an attempt to be non-biased at one point, and it seems like it just went all out the window. It seems like now that Trump has got elected, the Trump derangement had just taken over. She's like, yeah, Trump! Like, this is hilarious, actually, because, well, I don't know if it's hilarious or sad or both, because CNN's already losing so much credibility. I mean, you got Fake Tapper, Dana Trash, Abby Phillip, you got Jim Acosta, Anderson Cooper. Like, all of these people are completely Trump deranged. I think Anderson Cooper isn't like as bad as some of the rest of them, but majority of the people, with like very few exceptions, like these people aren't even CNN anchors. These are guests. Scott Jennings is like the only guy I could think of that's regularly on CNN that actually speaks common sense to an extent, right? But everybody else is just completely Trump deranged lunatics who freak out about every single thing Trump does, including if he farts, sneezes, blinks wrong. Oh my God, how could he do that? How dare he exist? Is basically CNN's stance, and it's really sad and pathetic. The only thing that we can do at this point is just keep laughing at them, at every damn thing that they do, so that they have no credibility. That's about half the point of these videos, so we get a good entertaining laugh together, and two, to continue to destroy their reputation that they're, majority of which they're doing all on their own. But these are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate y'all watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
It's one moment.
And he got the popular vote, Jeff.
That's great, but that doesn't mean he has a license
it's
to
who he
kill.
is. He's not going to change. It's who he is.